Welcome to the Friday Value video. And last week, I taught you the best squat for you. Well, many of you replied and said that they finally felt max wake up. They finally felt that area of their body doing some work. So that inspired me to teach you a couple of more ways that you can wake up max. It doesn't just need to be a squat. And some of you may notice that this really helps you with your knee pain or maybe your low back pain. So here we go. We move in 3 planes of motion, which if you've been following my work for any amount of time, you know that I've taught this consistently. We move forward and back, and we move sideways, and we turn. Now, of course, my arms can rotate this way. They can rotate this way. They can rotate this way. They can also move sideways this way. Forward and back. And of course, my legs can do the same thing. Not quite as mobile as my shoulders, because the shoulder is the most mobile joint in the body. The hip is the second most mobile joint in the body, but it can't quite do what the shoulder can do. And it is a weight-bearing joint. But I can do all of that rotation and bend the knee and do all kinds of things and the side motions and all of that. Now, the cool thing about Max is that when you get him longer under tension, he can work in some beautiful ways. And because of the orientation of the muscle, Max kind of looks diagonal. If you look at an anatomical picture of gluteus maximus, the glutes, you will see it's diagonal. The lines of the muscle kind of go like this. They go like they're diagonal. Okay? There's a reason for that. Your hamstrings are kind of straight up and down. So your hamstrings load mostly in the sagittal plane, which means the forward and back. But because the hamstrings come around the knee, and go below that joint, they actually control rotation, and they do a lot in other planes of motion as well. But because of how they're oriented, they function primarily in that sagittal plane. Your glutes, because they're diagonal, function in all 3 planes of motion. So whether you're going forward, which makes the glute get longer. So when I bend forward here, yes, hamstrings are loading to keep me from falling on my face, but Max is also loading, which means getting longer under tension. And when I rotate, Max also gets longer under tension. Of course, he can get shorter as well. But if I put a foot forward and I rotate, I'm getting Max longer, and you'll feel him get longer. So I'm going to show you from the back. If you put a foot forward and you reach forward with your arms, and so my right foot's forward, if I rotate to the right, you will feel Max load. You'll feel him get longer. And this is a beautiful thing for some people who have maybe some knee issues going on, maybe some low back issues going on. You get that hip to rotate better. You get Max to lengthen better in that rotation, and you might really feel some cool stuff happen. Now, he'll also lengthen in that side plane of motion, and that's where you side bend away. And again, you'll feel this when you do the motion. So if I go ahead and put my arms up, making sure I don't make my microphone so it doesn't work. So if I go ahead and put my arms up, I'm going to put this arm out because it's going to make my mic work funny. And what I'm going to do now is if I go sideways like this and I let my hips go to the right, you're going to feel this part of the body lengthen under tension. So Max is working. And you can feel it. He's loading. Now, yes, there are other muscles loading, the gluteus medius, which is that muscle that makes you limp when you walk if it's not working right. So this is a great way to load that too. But you're going to feel Max load. So if you're side bending away and if you're rotating toward, you will feel that. And you don't even have to put the foot forward. If you do this, you can feel Max. Now, yes, you're feeling your ankles. I mean, everything from the ground up is working. But you can also combine those planes of motion. So think, if I wanted to do a squat, what if I do a squat and I rotate in the same direction? So now I've really got Max working on that right. And what if I want to do it to the left? It's going to load more. What if I want to side bend away? So I could do the squat and I could side bend away. I can really get a lot more load. So of course, you're only going to do what does not hurt. You're not going to punch the bear in the nose repetitively. You're going to modify however you need. You're going to use whatever foot positions you need that I taught in last week's video on the perfect squat for you. But I wanted to give you just a little more to play with so that you could have some fun. Because movement can be fun, especially when you know how to perform it. And not only does it not hurt, but it actually reduces pain. Okay, I hope you have fun with this one, and I really look forward to hearing how you make out. I will see you next week.